Welcome back to TF Custom Shaving Brushes Workshop. How are we all? Good, I hope. I see you're in the stream there, Razor. I think you're the only one in the stream at the moment, mate. How's your day been, mate? All good, I hope. Mine's has been busy, or reasonably busy. Got a few things done today. I mean, with my son being here, I haven't been able to get an awful lot done in the workshop, but I've got a few other things done and spent some time with him, and we went and renewed our passports today. My passport had expired and so had his, so we had to go and fill in the forms and get down to the post office and lodge our application, pay our money. Now we just got to wait for the passports to turn up. Not that we're in any rush for them. I've got no plans to go anywhere at this point in time, and COVID's put a good stop to all that all over the world, so it's no big deal. It gets here when it gets here. I just thought I better renew it because I think they give you 3 years, and after 3 years then you've got to reapply completely, so the renewal process is much easier and much simpler, so I thought I better get it done. So we've got somebody else in the stream now, don't know who it is yet. So yeah, so I got that done today, and then I got some stuff sorted out in the house. I had to get my, I had to network my TV and my sound system and my Xbox and all that sort of thing. So I've now got all that on my Apple TV. So I got all that networked today. I bought a little Ethernet switcher and hooked all that up today, so that's all good. And I also come out here a bit later this afternoon and put a heap of coats of CA on this little brush that we started in part 1. So in part 2 here we're going to sand it all, get it nice and flat, and then we'll go through the process of shining it all up again, hitting it on the buffer. We're going to finish off the bottom, set the coin in there, and then CA finish the bottom as well. I've already CA'd in where the knot's going to go, but when I get a better look at that, I'll be able to see. I might pour a little bit more and let it soak in a little bit more, but yeah, it's all good. Hopefully we don't sand through the CA finish anywhere. I mean, it's got a lot of coats on it because I had to fill all the cracks, which you'll see if I change to go to camera 3, and I just, you know, all these little cracks around the place. There's more on the other side, these ones, so they're all filled now. These ones up here, they're all filled. All these ones up through here, they're all filled with CA as well now. So I put a lot of coats on, so hopefully I don't sand through it anywhere. So I've got, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I probably threw a couple in the bin, probably about 8 or 9 pieces of paper. And each one of them would have, you know, somewhere in the vicinity between let me count on this one, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, probably about 9, 10 coats on every one of them. And like I said, there's a couple in the bin as well, so it's had a lot of coats put on it, so it's fairly thick, so hopefully we won't sand through it anywhere, and hopefully we can get a nice finish on it. Bit loud. Yeah, it is a bit loud. It's just the way it is with these tracks, eh? The mic's okay, my volume's okay. Yeah, that's probably a bit better where it is now. Let me just put them in the bin. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a piece of 600 grit, and I'm just going to very, very lightly sand over the areas so that I can see where the high points and low points are, and then we can work on the high points as we need to, and we can take it from there. Yeah, it's just the way it is. I mean, we might find the next track might go really quiet, you know, so we'll just have to play it by ear and adjust it as we feel we need to. So it's all good, it's no big deal. So I'm just going to hit that little area there first and just try and take that down a little bit. And I'm just doing it very, very lightly because I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to sand through the CA. All I want to do is flatten it out again now. Because if I sand through, then it means we've basically got to go back to the beginning again, and there's been a lot of work put into this CA finish and sanding on this one so far, so I really don't want to have to go down that track, you know. But we'll see how we go. We'll just take our time. I'm in no big rush, and I can always hand sand a few bits as well to get it nice and flat if there's any sort of bad spots that I come across, you know. But so far it looks like I've got a nice thick coating on there, so hopefully we'll be right. It's probably near the edges is where I'll need to watch, that we don't sand through any of the detailed sharp edges, you know. But everything's been well coated, so I must ask, how did you, have you used any of your razors yet, your new razors yet, your new brushes I mean? And how did you go with them, mate? So at the moment all I'm doing is I'm just working on surface by surface. I'm just going to work my way up the handle, you know, and just take my time, no rush. So now I've finished that part, I'll start on here. I might even turn the lathe on for this so we can see exactly where the major high spots and low spots are. So if I take you to the top shot, you can actually see where I've sanded here now. You can see that that's nice and dull, but you can see those lines where they're really shiny, they're catching the light there. So that's where we've got to sand that down till we get rid of them. And it shouldn't take too much. They're the hollow spots, and where it's white is the high spots. So, you know, we've just got to get it down so that it's all acceptable and reasonably flat, without, like I said, sanding through. So it's just slowly, because once we get this, if we can get this sanded the way I want to sand it, and we get rid of all those, or the majority of those shiny bits, once we actually come to the stage where we polish it up and buff it up, it should just be like glass. So but again, you've just got to be very careful that you don't go through anywhere. Otherwise, you've got to go back to the beginning, because you'll end up with patches in it if you continue on after you've sanded through anywhere. And again, I'm just going to stay fairly clear of the sharp edges, because I don't want to go too deep into those areas and take the edge off. And you'll see there I've got a couple of shiny bits just under the lip of that, which is probably where, you know, there's been a build up of CA, and then we end up with a part sitting below it that's hollow, so it ends up being shiny. Ah, so you've tried them both. Excellent, excellent, mate. Very good. So you've got a good selection there, mate. You'll be able to put them onto your cycle for your shavers and your brushes. So that's me got rid of most of the shiny bits in that there now, so that's looking not too bad. Oh, we hit 60, did we? I knew we had 59 the other day. We must have had somebody else come in and subscribe. Just one little shiny bit there that I just want to work on. It's almost there. The rest of it I'm reasonably happy with. There's just a couple of light ones there, but we've got to wet sand it yet too. So I think with the once I go to the 1000 grit, that'll just take the last of the shine off without hopefully sanding through anywhere. John, how are you, mate? All the way from Spain. I hope your day's been going well, mate. I just started on this one. This was the one from the previous stream. I was just telling Razor I managed to get quite a few coats on it today actually with CA, just to fill up all the cracks and the crevices and holes and the holes in the birdseye and all that sort of thing in the timber. So we've got that done, and I've sanded this bottom section here now, and I'm just working my way up the handle. I might get a fresh piece of paper now, sandpaper. And I'm just going to sort of very, very lightly touch up all the details because I don't want to sand through it, as I was saying to Razor. When you get to this point, it's very easy to sand through a detailed edge, and as I said before, I don't want to have to sand it all again, so I'm taking my time but making sure I get it nice and flat again, which is the important part. So any of the shiny bits, I need to keep sanding until those shiny bits start to slowly disappear. Couple of very light ones under there, but I think I've got them almost away, so they're virtually nothing anyway, and I think once we hit it with the wet and dry we'll get that away. So I just want to see how this Lathe is coming up. Still a little bit of shiny on the bottom edge. So we'll try and get that flat. And it's nearly there already. And the wet paper and the mesh pads will take up anything else that's there. What was the red board called that you used to make the moulds on Tuesday? I didn't make any moulds on Tuesday, did I? Yeah, it would have been core flute. It's like a cheap way of doing some signboards, or for shops and stuff. It's called core flute here. I'll get some and show you in a tick. I'll just finish what I'm doing here with the sanding. And I think it's almost time to get another piece of 600 grit. Yeah, I mean, you can use there's a number of materials that you can use for moulds, John. I have various different moulds here. Some are made from HDPE, which is like a white nylon. It's very oily and nothing really sticks to it. So that's one of the materials I use. I can show you some shortly, actually. You can also use melamine, so just you know, board, you know, like they do kitchens and stuff with, you get a melamine. It's like a white, I think you can get it in different colours, but the majority of the time melamine is white in colour, and it's normally just rubbish board. It's normally pine board, or I think back in the UK we used to call it chipboard, stuff like that. But it's got a white melamine on it, and that white melamine the resin doesn't stick to white melamine very well, so you can use them. HDPE is by far the best because nothing sort of really sticks to it. So HDPE, it's high density poly something another. Like a butcher's chopping block, the butchers normally use a lot of it for cutting meat on and stuff. So there's that, there's the melamine, there's core flute, some PVC sheets that you can buy, like clear PVC, not acrylic, but it needs to be PVC. You can use that, and you can tape it together with sticky tape. So there's lots of different things you can use. It's just really a case of trying and seeing what works for you, you know. You can also buy silicon, so that you can make up your own silicon molds. That's another way to do it. If you want to start getting into casting, that allows you to make your own molds, and you can make them whatever you want then. So that's another good way to go. Although the longevity of the silicon is not, I mean, it's okay as long as you look after them and you clean them after you've used them and all that sort of stuff. But the HDPE is probably the best way to go. The HDPE lasts a long, long time. So I'm just on the top of the brush now, just again making sure I'm getting rid of any of the high and low spots best I can, so that when I do actually polish it and buff it, we don't have wrinkles in it. Or we minimise as many of them as we possibly can anyway. So that's looking not too bad. I'd like to just get a little bit more in that little detail there. So you can see how the whole handle's going fairly dull now, and it's fairly consistent throughout the whole handle. So that's telling me that I've got the CA pretty much flat now, and obviously we can then start to work on, there's still just a couple of little shiny spots. I mean, it doesn't matter if you don't get them, as long as they're close and they're not going to stand out. That's what you want to make sure, but you don't want to sand too much that you go through, like I said, the CA finish here, because that would just ruin the whole thing. Then we'd have to go back to square one. I will be doing more casting, John, so you know, I'll try and mix it up a little bit. I mean, we've been doing a lot of brushes lately, but I will be mixing it up. I think my next stream will be a pen. I'm going to try and see if I can prepare a pen ready, and I'll make a pen on stream. So I'll get another fresh bit of 600 just to make sure we've covered everything. Which I think we're pretty much there now. I'm just going to give a few little spots a bit of a touch up. So you can see that it had a really nice high gloss on it when we started, and now it's gone sort of like a satin finish. It's lost its gloss. Even if I go back to let me think, we're on camera 2 there, so you can see it's lost all the shine now. It's kind of satiny, so that's telling me that I've got the CA practically, you know, almost flat, and all the hollow spots are filled with CA to the same level as the high spots now, and the high spots have got enough coats on them, hopefully, that I don't sand through, you know. So I think we're pretty much right with that now. So I think I can probably go to the wet sanding now. Just trying to make sure that these details, because these are, you know, these have got a lot of CA in them, so I just want to make sure that we've got no real high sort of spots, you know. And I think that'll do me now. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Just a couple of just small spots here and there. Grey Dog, good morning mate, how are you? Welcome back. I'm just about ready to go to my, I applied God knows how many coats of CA on this today, and I'm just about to go to my, my wet sanding now. And as you can see, it was very, very shiny. But now it's quite satiny dull, so that, you know, and there's no real big shiny spots in it now, so that means I've got it relatively flat. There's just that one little bit here. That's better. And like I said, I don't want to sand through anywhere because that would mean big trouble. I wouldn't be pleased. So I think that'll do us there now. I think I can go straight to the wet now. And we'll finish off with the wet. In actual fact, I'll just move that tool rest up the other end so that I've got free space. And might just click that up a touch. Where's the that's the end of a track there, so that's okay. So I've got fresh water here as well, and just relatively slow. I don't want to go too hard, and nice and light, gentle. So we should start to see the CA shine up again very shortly. And like I said, I've got to be very careful on the details that I don't actually sand through anywhere. An early bird, Grey Dog, an early bird. Ah well mate, you must have needed the sleep. Okay, that'll do us for that grip. I think I'll be going to my new pads very shortly too, because these ones are starting to really fall apart. That'll do that one. Oh, I never hit it with the 1000 grit. Not to worry, it should be okay. I'll see how it is once I get up through these. If I need to go back, I can always go back, but the micro mesh pads should pick it up, I think. It's feeling nice and smooth, so yeah, I think we've got it. Nice. Yeah, it's looking good so far. Let's just hope we can keep it like that. Brett, how are you, buddy? Welcome back. What part of Sydney are you in tonight, mate? Yeah, you can't beat them, mate, aye. Those rhodiums. When people are comparing them and saying that they're is equal or if not better than Paladin and Declaration and many of the others, when people are saying they're, if anything, they're better, then you're onto something good, aye. How's that? The music's probably a little bit loud again. We'll just tone it down a little bit there. We're getting there, fellas. There's a lot of CA on this, I'll tell you. Took a lot to fill those little cracks. I was showing Razor earlier in the stream how many bits of paper, and each one had about 9 or 10 on it. I think I counted about 7 and probably 2 in the bin. So there's lots of coats of CA on this. I didn't want to sand through it anywhere. Such a lovely piece of timber. Lovely colour, lovely grind, and obviously you got that added benefit of having the bird's eye through it as well. So yeah, you can get smaller rhodiums, mate. He'll make them to the sort of same sort of standards, you know, 20, 22, 24. I think I've got a couple of 22s, and I might even have a 24 there. I'd have to check for you, mate. But yeah, he does do smaller ones. You won't notice a lot of difference between your 27 and your 30 mil, to be honest though. So there you go, you can see that shine in there now. And we've got a very nice finish there actually. It is nice and flat. I've got no major areas where we've got any lines or anything like that in there. That's going to polish up absolutely beautiful. Just check the top end, that's all good. So you can see the shine's fully back now. That's the CA, all sanded nice and flat. And starting to see the joints in the timber again, the grind. All these hollows where the bird's eye were, and all the little cracks is all totally filled now, so you can't feel any of them at all. You can't feel it anywhere. So that was what we were trying to achieve by putting as many coats on as I put on. So this brush will be well protected. You'll never get any water into this one unless you really substantially damage the handle. So that's that done. So what we can do now is I can either part it off now and put it on the other chuck, or I can do it the same way as I normally do it. I just don't want to split it when I put it into expansion, that's all, so it'll be just a firm grip but not too heavy on it, you know, because it's amazing how strong these jaws are, especially on the big chuck. It's amazing how much force they can exert with the slightest turn of the handle, you know. So I'm just checking it all over, guys, making sure we haven't gone through any edges anywhere, that everything's nice and flat. We've got no lines or marks in it anywhere. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, decision time. We need to make a decision as to whether I take that off now. And then reverse it and just tidy up the bottom and then CA. That's what I think I'll do. Rather than turn it around now, I think I'll take it off where it is now. So I'll get in as close as I can, but enough to leave me enough room to part it off. I'll speed it up and I'll get my other little parting tool. I'm hoping this one will cut better than the other one. That's cutting much better than the previous parting tool that I had. That other one must have been a bit blunt. Yeah, and that's what he does, Razor. You know, if somebody sends him a handle or whatever, and it's not quite the right size, he'll adjust the knot to suit the handle. I'm just going to give that another touch. We're almost there. So nice and carefully, I should be able to get it off this time. There we go. And that'll leave us a little bit of tidying up on the bottom, but some nice light cutting on that. Let me get that in shot there. So you can see there's no lines or marks on it anywhere. It's got a very, very nice high shine gloss to it. And we haven't buffed it or polished it or anything yet. There's the top. And as you can see, I've sealed up the inside with CA as well. So that's all well sealed now. So that's ready basically to take the knot now. But we're just going to do the bottom now. So we'll need to tidy that up. Then we'll need to cut out for our coin, and then we'll need to just give it a seal up. So I'm going to stop the lathe now, set that up there out the way. We'll get rid of that little block, although that'll come in handy. I might actually clean that up because that'll come in handy for a a glue block for another piece of resin that I need to do. So I'll go in with my bidan, lift the tool rest, and I'll just tidy this up. Probably go a bit faster. If I go to, what shot are we on now? 3. So if I go to 2, and you'll see what I'm doing there, just tidying that end up. And that'll give me a nice little glue block for gluing a piece of acrylic to that I've got to do. And that's it. So that I can glue another piece to that straight away now. That's absolutely beautiful finish too. I can glue another piece to that now. If I've got a short blank, I can glue it to that, and that brings it away from the chuck and lets me work on it. Then I can just part it off. Okay. So I'll take that out and I'll keep that because that'll come in really handy. I should have actually numbered those. Let me just put that back on there. That's where it was. So what I'll do is I'll just number those chucks so I know how to put it back on again. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I just put a little mark. So when I put it back on, I get it back in exactly the same spot, and it should spin center. Okay. Now I can take that out, and I'll keep that because, like I said, that'll come in handy for another piece that I've got to do. Okay, I think we can probably take that chuck out now, and we'll put the big chuck in. Now this may not sit flat because I've got CA in the bottom of that handle, so if it's a little bit bumpy it might not sit flat, so I'm just going to see how we go with this one. Could be a bit lumpy in the bottom, and like I said, I don't want to put a lot of, I think it's going to be a little bit lumpy, but I don't want to put a lot of force on this one either. And that's not too bad there. Now that's pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is just take really light cuts on the bottom to tidy up the bottom. And I may just, I might use this one actually, because this one a little bit too high. My chuck wasn't properly tightened up there, it is now though. And I must have knocked that out centre again. A little bit. It's not too bad. Uh, 24 chubby style might work. Yeah, like I said, guys, I've got some rhodium nuts inside, but I'd have to check for you, Brett. So, but I do have some inside, so I mean, I can help out there. Not actually sure what I need there. I think I might need to come up just a touch. Okay, we've got that reasonably flat on the bottom. I'll just check and see how much hollow I've got in it. Yeah, we've got a fair bit in there. I might just do it a little bit more towards the edge though. So sort of in there. Excuse me. Okay, I'm reasonably happy with that. We'll just make sure we're finished all the way out to the edge, which I think we are. Yep, that's all good, because we'll need to marry the CA finish back into that as well. So I'm going to go through the grits with this now. So I'll just move that out the way. Just use my little foam pad there to get it flat. Now it's flat, I can just go in with my hand now. And then we'll just give it a light rub by hand. This still looks like there's a couple of marks in there. Let's see if we're getting them yet. They're starting to go now, so that's good. I think it was just a little bit of torn end grind with the cut I was doing on the bottom there, nice and gently. But we're almost there with it now. It's almost all gone. A little bit in the centre. We're not going to see the centre anyway because we're going to be putting a coin in it. But we'll finish it. Okay, another bit gone. So you can see there's just a little bit of marking in the centre there. Excuse me, I've got the coughs tonight. But I think it might be in the grind because it doesn't really want to come out regardless of how much I sand. So I hate when that happens. That's better. You know when you get that stuck in the back of your throat and it just wants to keep going? No, that was the third one. Undo that. Yeah, I just do this little ridge because it's easier to do it as a flat surface than what it is to do the ridge after. I'm not sort of spending too much time in the middle, it's more the outside I want to get right because we will have a little ledge there. And then I just drill the centre of Y deep enough to take the coin. Drop a little bit of CA in there and we're done. But I like to get that little ledge finished which surrounds the coin. So that's why you'll see me working, you know, a lot to that edge, and then just giving it a little bit of a light round off as well at the same time, so it's not sharp. And then I'll just give it a little bit of a hit with this, which is 1000 grit. And that's almost feels like plastic. So we've done what we need to do there. We'll get rid of this out the way now. And we'll get the Forstner bit with the 25mm bit in it. Now I want to just check that first, make sure that it's reasonably centered. It's not quite spot on, but it's reasonable. So I'll start the point, and then I'll lock it, and we'll turn it slowly. Bearing in mind this Forstner bit's as blunt as anything. So I'm going to go back, set it on 0. Which is there. And now I just need to go in a couple of mil. And that'll do it. Now I may need to go in again and just clean out the CA, but the main thing is I want to wick that in the inside so that it's all sealed with thin CA before we put the coin in, that is. So I will need to go and get my CA out the fridge. You keep your CA in the fridge, boys. It lasts for virtually ever, but if you leave it out in the workshop, it'll go off on you pretty quickly. So I'll just go into the fridge and get my thin CA, which I was using earlier to fill up all those cracks and bird's eyes. So now I'm just going to put a little bit on here. And just sweeten that into the bottom, so you can see how it changed colour there. And then what I'll do is I'll take it off the chuck and I'll wick it in here, because we'll be finished on the chuck once I get this done. So I'll seal this flood this with a bit of CA once we take it off the chuck. I just want to get the bottom nice and finished. And then blend that bottom back in with the rest of the handle as well, so that I spread it back up onto the handle, so we get a nice good coating from the side of the handle right through and round the bottom. That's looking pretty good. I get my I thought I had it out. I did have it out earlier. I must have put it away. Just get my activator again. That music's jumping around a little bit tonight for some reason. We must have all the, I mean it's on random, but it must have all It's jumping around a bit. Oh, it's way up. See how we go with that. Now I'm also going to put, whilst that's turning, I'm going to drizzle a little bit in there. And then I'm just going to push that in with the end of the rag so it doesn't build up in there, but I want it to wick in to that timber there, which it's nearly there now. And then I'm just going to so you can see in there now that timber's darkened in colour. That's because it's absorbed the CA up into the end grain, and that'll harden in that end grain and it'll just totally seal it off. I do have another little used paper towel here which I'll do a bit more on. And then that's all I need, and it's just enough to make sure that's all well sealed, including in the little dimple in the middle. And we've actually got a fair bit of torn grain in there, so it's just obviously the way that blunt cutters cut it, so I'm just going to drench that as well. Put a little bit more in there, and then I'll use the cloth to just really take the excess out. That gives it time to soak into the timber as well. So there you go, we've got that pretty well now. Now, the one thing I didn't do was I didn't round off that edge where the coin is. So I may do that now before I get too carried away with putting coats on. And I'll just do that very, very carefully. Bring the tool rest in that way. Actually, I can probably even just sand it rather than just going with the tool. Probably better. I'll just hit it with a little bit of 600 just to round it over. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to put the fastener bit back in and just make sure that we haven't narrowed the hole and that we've still got our depth. So on 0, bring it in. Yep, that's us. So we never really took anything off there, we just tidied up any of the build-up of CA. So get rid of that bit. In the bin, and now I'm just going to go in again with a little bit more CA, just a really light wipe, inside that recess without going too over the top. And don't forget that we also put the epoxy in there. So the epoxy will seal up anything that I miss if I miss anything, but I think we're pretty much got everything now. How's the time gone, lads? 1 hour 18, eh? How time flies when you're having fun. Yep, not too bad. I'm going to slow it down a little bit. But there. Starting at the other end of the paper towel now. And I'm just going to try and get a couple of quick coats on that, and then we'll give it a light sand. And I want a reasonably nice coating on the bottom as well, because you know, the bottom of the brush, if it gets stood up, it's where it's going to wear. So I want the CA to be good on the very bottom as well as the rest of the handle. Get rid of that bit. And I think that should probably do us, guys, to be honest. So I'm just going to go with a little bit of wet and dry now. Make sure there's no little ridges there. So you can see there's still on the right shot. If I go to camera 3, yeah, you can see it in there in the shot. You can see there's a couple of little shiny patches, so they're hollows. So I just need to keep sanding that there now till I get that out. And once that's gone, that's just flat, and then we're ready to go polish. So that's just where I've smeared the CA back up over the handle to make sure that the bottom's sealed into it as well. I think that'll do that. And I'm just going to make sure that that's clear. Good. The last couple of times I've put the CA finish on it, the coins have just been that little bit tighter to push in. So all I'm doing there is just clearing it, and I'll just drizzle a bit of CA back in the bottom there. Even although the epoxy will probably get it, but I'll make sure it's sealed. Get that right there. I'll go to the other end of the towel, just put a little bit more in there. I'm just going to go in there like that, put a little bit on there and a little bit in there, and that'll do it. Alright, so just get rid of that in the bin over there, get rid of this. Quick lick with the soft touch pads. And that should do it, fellas. Just check the bottom. That's good. Okay. One handle done. No, not quite. There's still a couple of little scratches in the bottom of that. So we'll just run through the micro mesh again. I think that should give it enough. The bed wise, so you're talking about, John, the bed of the lathe. I use a spray-on product called lanolin, and sometimes what I also do is I coat it with, I've got a little jar of natural beeswax. So between the lanolin and the beeswax, it puts a nice coating on there. It keeps your bedways nice and shiny normally. It's been a little while since I've done them. But it keeps them nice and shiny, and it seems to protect it from taking rust as well. I mean, a lot of people use different things. I mean, the Silver Glide as well, which is quite expensive, but that's supposed to do a good job. I don't use WD-40. I used to use WD-40, and I found that WD-40 actually caused a lot of my stuff to rust. So I stopped using WD-40 and went to the lanolin. And it's just a spray-on lanolin, just like your WD-40 in a can. But between that and the natural beeswax, and the natural beeswax is it's a softer compound, not a hard beeswax. It's a softer compound, so it's obviously been mixed with oils and whatever. And I find that keeps them really, really nice, you know. Take that out now. Much better. That's all it needed. Cool. So we've got one handle finished. I'll leave that chuck in there for now. We can get rid of them. I'll have a quick look at the chat. Lots and lots of information on there, Brett, on the P&C forum. It's a good forum. Yes, you're right, Razor. It is August sometime, mate, because everything was a bit delayed, as you say, with the COVID thing. So Facade basically said it will be in August. Oh, it was Grey Dog that asked that question about the bedways. I thought it was John. Yeah, like I said, mate, lanolin spray and natural beeswax. It's the natural beeswax I get locally here in Australia. I'll show you it. I'll grab a tub when I go over to the buffer. That's where I'm going now. So I'll show you it when I come back, mate. I'll take this handle over to the buffer. I'll give it a little bit of a buff up, and then I'll bring the beeswax with me and let you see that beeswax, eh? So I'm just going to mute my mic and I'll be back with you shortly, eh? I'm back, I'm back, I'm back. I'm just going to put this on again, and I'm just going to give the very edges of the bottom here and the inside edge and the outside edge just another little touch with just a very, very small amount of CA. So I won't even need to sand it. It will just be a very fine coat, just to, there's a little bit of a dull on the edge, so I just want to get it shiny. So very, very slowly, clean cloth. And I can get rid of that buffing there. And we'll see how you guys are going. All good. So like I said, this is just a tiny, tiny little touch I'm going to put on here just to polish that inside edge up again, and the same with that very bottom one there. Not enough to worry it, but enough just to keep it polished up. And let's have a look. I'm just going to give that a little hit with the polish now. Actually, I should set the coin in first, I suppose. It doesn't matter. Whatever. Put a bit of polish on it. So just a tiny bit. Okay, so nice and slow, and not a lot of pressure because I don't want it flying off the chuck. I haven't got it on with much pressure here, so so all I'm doing is just working that polish into the surface. It has a very fine cutting compound in it, I believe, for cutting the polycarbonate back on headlights and stuff. So pretty fine though, I believe. And I just want to try and get the cloth down onto the top of that as well. I can give it a rub by hand after if it need to, but boy, oh boy, oh boy. Very nice, if I say so myself. Okay, keep that there. Well, keep it there for now, just in case I need a cloth. We can get rid of this chuck now. I'm all done with that. Yep, top's nice and shiny too. You can see there. There's the handle. Focus, focus, focus. Let me get my position here. A few dust specks on it, but you can see the glass light finish in that. And it's all sealed up with a CI, and we've got epoxy to go in there yet as well. So okay, so coin guys, what do we think? An antique silver. It actually looks all right, but I think the I mean, you'd look at it and you would say you'd put the antique brass in, wouldn't you? But I'm actually thinking, for a bit of contrast in it, that the yeah, I'm going to go with the antique silver this time. Antique silver I'm putting in here this time, guys. I think it just is the opposite of what the timber is, and I think it just gives it something else. So that's what I'm going to go with. Just going to pull this back a touch, lock it back on, so I can get using camera. Turn that round a bit. Now I may need to press this in because with a CA it might be just a little touchy tight. I need to get a paddle pop stick. So part A or part B, whatever, as long as I get the opposites. Yeah, everybody's gone for the brass, but I'm going with the antique silver. I think it just gives it something else. So I'm going with the antique silver. Like I said, I may need to press it in, so we'll see how we go with that. I've already sanded the base of the knot as well. I've done that earlier before we started the stream, just to save a little bit of time. So I'm just going to fill that little dimple up in the middle. I'm going to make sure I get plenty of epoxy into that sort of torn timber. I mean, I can see it's well and truly sealed with the CA though, but so that'll do that. We'll see if we can get the coin to go in. It's going to need press to get the air out. It's got a little bit of air trapped in there, so I will need to press it in. So I'll put that on there. I'll bring that over there once we get the tailstock up. And I will just take the looseness up in that. And then I'll put this in there, and we'll just wind the tailstock in. And we'll hold it there for just a few seconds, let the air come out. Yeah, she's a good old waterproof board, that one, mate. She's had many of a mix put on her. I've even got the imprint in my paper towel. You probably can't see it in the camera. Oh yeah, there you go. See the imprint in there. Anyway, we can take that off now, and I'll give it a quick wipe just to make sure, or check it anyway. Yeah, there's a little bit of epoxy oozing out there. It's a little bit methylated spirits. And I'll put yous onto that. That's 3. We want to go there. No, we want to go there, and we want to zoom out a touch. So now just a little bit of methylated spirits, and take the excess out. Not a lot, just a little bit. Let it be. TF custom shaving brushes, and now we can set the knot. So I'll put my little board back in, lock it in, and I reckon it's going to look absolutely stunning, this little handle with the Badger, the 2-band finest in there. I think the colours are just going to, you know, complement each other. That's why I didn't want to go with the tuxedo. And I'm just going to push some of that glue up onto the side now. We've got plenty in the bottom. Make sure I've got the lot. Put a little bit on the bottom of the knot. In she goes. Coin's still in nicely, no glue. I'll leave that sit for a minute now. I'll get rid of my glue board and paddle pop stick. Methylated spirits, gone. Tool rest round the right way. Polish away. CA away. Epoxy glue away. Okay, how are things going? Let me just check in on the chat, before we get too carried away. What's been happening, fellas? Okay, good. Razor's explaining what the charity auction is. All good. Yeah, I used to drink a bit of Foster's myself. It was a nice drop actually. You don't see it around too much now though. Well, I don't drink now anyway, so all good. I used to like a good drink though. The only drinks I have now, and I only have them once in a blue moon because of my medication, but the only drinks I have now are, I quite like that Summerbee's pear cider. I quite like that. So occasionally I'll get some of that, and and I like a Bundy and rum, Bundy and cola, sorry, every now and again as well. I normally get the red label, but I like any of the Bundys. But yeah, I'm quite partial to that Summersby's pear cider. It's quite nice. It's sweet, but like I said, I can't drink anymore, but I can sort of handle them okay. So I only have one or two once in a blue moon, and that's me. I'm happy. Yeah, it's come up pretty good, Grey Dog. I'm pretty happy with the way it's come up. I'll show you in a tick. And I normally put a little 30-minute video with the brush sitting on a carousel in my light tent. I normally put that up on my Facebook page, TF Custom Shaving Brushes Facebook page. I normally put them up on there, and you get to see it in the light tent all finished, and it rotates so you can see the brush all the way around. Yeah, the brass was outvoted. I've gone with the antique silver, and it actually looks quite nice. Good. You like the silver as well, yeah. It's just that contrast, moving away from the antique brass. I mean, this has got, a lot of nice colours in it, nice grain, and the birdseye, and like I said, the badger brush looks absolutely stunning in it too, just with the colours, natural colours, and the coin just gives it a little bit of difference in the bottom rather than it all being looking the same, So I'll show you a bit closer on the tick. Just finished checking the chat. Oh, you're a cider man too, Razor, yeah? Yeah, gotta have my Bundy rum though. Yep, Queenslander, mate. Queenslander. Sounds good, John, sounds good. Yeah, bourbons. My wife drinks a bit of bourbon. Jack Daniels, she'll have bourbon. Okay guys, let me just, I'll get rid of that please subscribe. I mean, I think we've got the normal guys, the normal crew in here again tonight anyway, so everybody's probably subscribed to the channel anyway. But if there is anybody new comes in and watches the video, or anybody new drops in the streams, just please subscribe. You know, down the bottom below the video you'll see the little subscribe button. Or you can wait till the end of the video and you'll see a picture of me with a massive big shaving brush in my hand. You can click on that and that'll subscribe you too. If you click on the bell, the little bell down below, if you click on that, it'll remind you when I go live or when I post another video up. So thanks very much guys. I'm going to shut the shed door down as I say. Just finish the chat. I'll go to the closer shots and I'll show you that brush close up before I shut the shed door. So if you let me just change the cameras here. I'll change the cameras and I'll show you what camera we're on. The headshot one, the number one, the main camera. So I'll hold it out to you and, you know, see if we can see it from there. So there it is. In the main front shot. I think the size of the handle, if you remember when I was tossing and turning with the length of the handle, I cut it a couple of mil shorter than where I originally marked it, and I think that's done it nicely to keep it in, you know, proportion with the knot and the handle shape. I think that's finished it nicely. There's the coin in the bottom, as you can see, the silver, the antique silver, just gives it a little bit of difference in the bottom. But I'll bring you in closer on one of the other closer cameras. So we've got a camera 2 at the moment. We'll cut to there and I'll show you that up nice and close now. So there you can see, there's all the birdseye in it, the cracks, everything's filled. It's really nice and flat and smooth now. Glass-like finish on it, really smooth. I'm pretty happy with this one actually. A couple of little lines down the bottom there, but nothing drastic. It's probably where I put that other CA on just to tidy up the bottom face a bit there. As you can see, there's the bottom. So again, like I said, I think it just added a little bit of difference in it as opposed to having it all the same. So that's that one there. And if I continue to rotate it for you, you can see the chatoyance in the timber there. You're getting the chatoyance. Then there's more birdseye, more of the cracks. It's absolutely a stunning brush, and it's actually nice. You can actually hold it there like that, or you can sort of, I'll go to that out to the wide shot. You can actually hold it quite nicely like that in that rounded, hollowed rounded section in the bottom there. So you know that would be quite nice, and you can also lock that. You can also lock that finger in and hold it. I mean, that's how I hold a lot of my brushes, is like that. And that's nice and comfortable in the hand. The bottom's probably a little bit larger. It could have done with being a little bit smaller, but I think it would have detracted from the overall look of the handle, you know. If I go back to that shot, yeah, I just think it would have detracted if I'd have narrowed it a little bit. It would have made the top look a little bit too heavy, I think, where I think that looks quite nice, you know. So that's that, and if I go to camera 3 and show you in the head down, you can see, if I can get it in position there, you can see the finish on it there. Even the top of the brush, you can see it's just like glass. There's a few little specks of dust on it in here. But yeah, there it is, lads. Wait until it focuses. There we go. Very nice, if I say so myself. Anyway, let me just have a quick check on the chat. We've had a look at the brush there. We'll cut back to there. Lovely. You guys are all happy. We're done. Bit over 2 hours. We're all finished. We'll see you on Sunday. Now I'm thinking I'll probably end up doing a pen on Sunday. Maybe a pen or a bottle opener, or probably a pen. Just a nice quality pen. A roller ball or a fountain pen, something like that. Something really nice. So I'll pick out a nice piece of timber for it, something very unique, and I'll prepare the barrels for it, ready for Sunday, and then we'll actually turn it and CA finish it on Sunday, and we'll assemble the pen as well, and that'll let you see something a little bit different to a shaving brush. How's that sound? All right? No worries, Grey Dog, my pleasure. Like I said, it had been a little while since I'd done a timber one, so I was probably due to do a timber one, mate, so you just forced the issue. So it's no big deal. I mean, most of my brushes have been, most of my brushes have been resin, so or hybrids, so of light. So it was quite nice to turn a little nice little wooden handle for a change, and make sure I hadn't lost my touch with the CA finish. So yeah, so it was a pleasure. I do have another piece of that timber here. I've got more of it, but I did cut 2 blanks at the same time, so I'll probably do this one another day, turn that into another handle as well, but that'll do us for now. So look guys, I'm going to shut the shed door down now, and I'll look forward to seeing you on Sunday. I will put a reminder up as soon as I possibly can. We might end up getting a few more in the stream on Sunday, something a little bit different, and I'll look forward to that, guys. I'll look forward to seeing you all there on Sunday, and we'll take it from there, right? Okay, lads. Once again, thank you very much for joining in the stream and participating in the background there, and it's all good. I like that. I like you being in there. Anyway, till next time, guys, do take care, eh? We'll see you on Sunday. Cheers, fellas. Bye-bye. Ta-ra.